This is the drive into work. We're headed down Lake Mead Boulevard. And you can see the sun coming up over the mountains. This is just outside of Las Vegas. Lake Mead Boulevard. It is pretty beautiful in the morning. It's temperature 60 degrees. Your boy Bry's getting ready to see if he can get this job underway. And Lake Mead Boulevard runs all the way up into the mountains from the main highway. And it's looking like it's going to be a pretty nice day out. We do have to make one stop so I can get a few drinks for the day. And this is the situation we're in, people. We're trying to spend the next 3 days here, get the job done, and get home on the weekend. And what else can I say? It's morning time. Your boy Bry is a morning person. For a lot of people that they don't like the morning, they fight the morning. They like to sleep in. They like to get up and get at them when they roll around and get up out of bed. That is not your friend Bry. Your friend Bry, he's a guy that says, let me get up early because I went to bed late. And what I mean by that is I really don't like to get more than 5 or 6 hours sleep. I mean, 6 is pushing it. I like to maximize my day. I've always done that. This is nothing new. Even when I was a little child, I would fight sleep and would go only the bare minimum and to recharge my battery, and then I was back up and at 'em. So even as I am in my current state today, I try to do the same thing, because if I get more than 6 hours sleep, I feel drowsy and I feel really like I'm dragging, and I really don't like that situation. So I try to keep a schedule. To be honest with you, when I lay down, I just, after 5 or 6 hours, my eyes open up and I'm just wide awake. So I am a morning person. I do enjoy greeting the day, getting up early and saying to myself, my friend Bry, let's go make a beautiful day here today, because this is the only day you have. And what I mean by that is, if you live every day like it's your last day, you'll live with intention, you'll live with purpose. You won't never look at it as I'm bored, or this is just another day. No, if you live every day as if today is your last day, you start to see the colors start to shine a little brighter. You tend not to waste no time on things that don't matter, and you tend to put everything in a lens, in a perspective that says, this is a gift. Today is a gift, and you must take full advantage of the gift that is given you. And I don't say that lightly. I mean everything what I'm saying. No matter who I come in contact with today, I'm going to try to keep a good attitude and a perspective that says, even if they're not having a good day, that doesn't change my situation. And if somebody gets something good out of the day, I'm not going to hate on them for it. I'm going to actually cheer for them and be their best cheer in the back of the field, saying, hey, I'm glad that you are doing well. We'll just leave it at that. Your boy Bry is not a hater. He does not like to hate on people. He likes to live every day, like I said, with purpose and with meaning. And when you do that, you tend to find yourself enjoying life a little better and not looking at the negative side of the coin, so to speak. The negative side of the coin has a dinginess to it, and it has a tarnish, let's say, that can rub off on you. And if you tend to hold the coin and stare at the dingy side of the coin, everything seems to look a little crazier. But when you look at that shiny side of the coin, the side of the coin that things hit it and they just roll off, then your perspective becomes clear and in focus. And you can say to yourself, my, what a beautiful day. And we're going today to make at least 12, probably 13 hours. So we're going to tack on to the normal day. We're going to tack on some overtime. And we're going to say to ourselves, as long as you're away from the house and you're out here making a living, let's try to maximize our value and our time. But on the same side of the coin, the shiny side of the coin, it's a coin that says, let's give the person a full day's work. Let's not cheat them. Let's not go sit in the restroom for an hour. Let's not go mosey about and wait for the next guy to do it. Because when you're an old school, when you're a Gen Xer like your friend Bry, he's not waiting for somebody to come rescue him. With the adversity and the things that I've experienced in my life and trouble, stuff like this, you're never going to avoid trouble and problems. You have to look at that as a crucible and say to yourself, let the crucible of trouble and triumph and tribulations, let all of that together be the crucible that makes you who you are and makes you look at things the way you do. And if you're going to be the type of person that panics or says, I just can't do this no more, well, then you're going to fail in life. You're going to find yourself, always somebody's going to disappoint you or let you down. But to be honest with you, if you look at yourself every day as the only person that can let you down, now you're in a situation that you're not relying on other people. And to my point, you're not waiting for somebody to come do the job or come rescue you. Especially as a man, you're supposed to be the one to go out and be the rescuer. So there's people that rely on you every day. I'm sure of that. If you're a man, there's people that rely on you. And you have to stay the course. But keeping in mind that today is the only day that matters. Tomorrow has its own set of situations, let's say, and yesterday is gone. You can't bring back yesterday, and you can't force tomorrow to be, in the present. Everything has its time and its purpose. And as long as you get on the same page with that and say to yourself, these are the life lessons of your friend Bry. Let's try to keep a good perspective. Let's not sit there and dwell. To dwell is just to sit and dance on the head of a pin and keep dancing on it and saying, oh, my, oh, my, and oh, woe is me, and I can't believe this is happening. Again, I'll tell you that the Chinese proverb says, never argue with reality. If your reality is you're having a troublesome day, then you're having a troublesome day. It doesn't mean that you have to be a problem person for that day. It doesn't mean that you have to have a bad attitude. You can say, despite the situation, I'm going to be consistent and just have a good day. Because, again, like I said, other people will let you down, but you don't have to let you down, if that makes any sense. You be your own hero. You be your own cheerleader. You be your own inspiration. Be the inspiration that you want to see in the world. And again, like I said, these aren't just words. These are things your friend Bry has thought about. And these are what get me through on the days that are, let's just say, a situation. Like yesterday, I fully anticipated going to work. But here I was, going. I went and did the training. I went and did the safety training at the site and got that out of the way, thank God. But, sometimes in your mind you like to say to yourself, you have a plan, so to speak, and I'm going to do this, and this. But sometimes you have to look at the plan and say to yourself, you have to leave room for the possibility that the plan will change. And as long as you do that, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. But today I'm going to go in. I'm going to do everything with a spirit of excellence. I'm not going to shortcut nothing. You know, sometimes you have to be the coach and the frontline player, so to speak. Sometimes you have to be your own coach and you have to talk it out to yourself and say, look, this is what we're going to do. No, we're not doing it that way. Remember, stick to the script. This is what you're doing. You're a person of excellence. You're a person of fortitude, and you're a person that says you're going to do it right, do it right, because you're not going to do it wrong. And if you're not doing it right, we already know you're not doing it. You're fooling yourself. And I've never seen a situation where someone has been consistently a half-asser, let's say, and never had issues, never had callbacks, never had problems. Just because you're tired doesn't mean you have to sacrifice doing things with a spirit of excellence. So, this is your morning ride with Bry, and your friend Bry is the type of person that says, we can have a conversation. You know, we can have the conversation, and you can have a difference of opinion. But at the end of the day, we're starting to see a shift in the landscape, so to speak, with the political situation in this country. People are sick and tired of supporting all these other countries and not supporting our own country. As you know, your boy Bry is America First. He lives and breathes America First policies. Now, the both sides of the aisle have pandered and given in to many situations that you could say were not for America. But your boy Bry, he is for America, and he's for the American dream. And I do not believe that the American dream is dead. I believe that you make your own American dream. And we're out here in Vegas. We're making our dreams come true because this is where we're at. And home is definitely where the heart is. So we're out here. We've got to stop and get a couple drinks. We have to get some, possibly, I don't want to say food because I brought my own food with me. But we're getting ready to enter the mountains, so I'll give you a look. This is the last, there's a store up here on the right, and this is the one of the last stores before there is nothing. There's desolation and just mountains. And I will stop and give me a couple sarsaparillas, and we'll head on down through the mountain. The power generation is outside of the hills most of the times. They don't like to put them in the areas where there's a lot of housing and stuff like that, because you know, you understand there's a lot of noise associated with a gas turbine. There's a lot of noise and a high level of decibels. But as you see, it's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful day. And maybe you're out there today and you're getting ready to go to work and you're saying to yourself, my friend Bry, I need some inspiration this morning, and I need someone to build and lift me up so that I can actually get to the position where you're at, where you actually are your own cheerleader, your own confidence builder. Okay, this is the last store right here. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here. This is the Green Valley Grocery Store. And I'm hoping and I'm praying, I'm doing both, that they're open. I think they are. But this is your friend Bry. I'm going to go in here and get some drinks, and then we're going to continue the conversation on the next video. We'll holler at you real soon. All right, this is your friend Bry.